Alright, all you InitialD fans, let's take a look at what we have here. So I got this off eBay. I believe this is a Japan ToysRus limited edition of the InitialD Volume 2 series. And so we have these four cars here. The iconic Trueno. I used to own a first-gen Miata, that's why I got this thing. And then this and this. This is probably the least favorite of the four for me. It says here this is from 2002, so quite old. It's still taped together, so I think it's new. Yeah, okay, just more pictures of the thing. Alright, these are wind back toys. You pull them back and they take off. Alright, let's take a look and see how this has survived for almost 20 years. Not well if I'm dropping them like that. Alright, let's start with the least favored one, which is probably this silver R34. Now, I couldn't find any images or any info on the silver Skyline R34. I know there's like a greenish one and a bluish one that was raced. I haven't really watched InitialD, so I just like the cars. Alright, but you can see here it's got yellow headlights as if it's running at night, so it's interesting. And then a blank white license plate, which is unfortunate. It would be nice to have a printing there. And then black paint in here, but not very well laid in there, so that's too bad. I do enjoy the squished, deformed look. Really thin panel gaps there. And then this just has the standard 5-spoke chromed wheels that come on most Choro-Qs. Here we are. So SSR, I don't know what that means. I don't know. Please leave a comment. So there's the brand Choro-Q, InitialD, and then two giant red taillights there. But yeah, the other two are behind that coin holder here. The wing, I think, is a separate piece. Yeah, I can see a brake there. And then I think it's a smoked interior glass. I'm sorry. But you can see the motor right there. So it's a really dark smoked. And then again, the SSR is printed on the windshield. So I guess I just didn't search properly. I have to look up what SSR is. Yeah, so this thing was originally, I guess, copyrighted in 1998, so quite old now. There's the mechanism. Alright, so these things go pretty fast. I don't play with them. They're just, you know, going into a display cabinet. So it's alright. Yeah, I just wish it had a license plate printed on the front. That would have been the best thing. Oh well. Okay, so this Miata here, MX-5, or in Japan it would be called the Nunos Roadster. It just says plain white wheels. Alright. And then it's got the silver here for those turn markers. Unfortunately, there's no black paint here. That seems like a big oversight. I don't know why they would paint this with 3 different paint colors. But this one has just those two. Well, that one paint color. There's a little power bulge. And yeah, smoked plastic again, but not as dark. You know, you can definitely see more of the motor there. You can see there's a texture on the roof. A normal Miata would have had a black roof, but this, in the cartoon, it actually has a red hardtop. So I'm going to guess that, you know, Takara molded this to have painted roofs. But they're just throwing in this all red one to suit InitialD. But they initially made the casting for regular Miatas where this would be painted black or brown on certain, on the British Racing Green one. A little fuel filler, really tight panel gaps because this is made of plastic. And then printed on taillights, those look pretty good. Alright, so there's the body code NA6CE SSR. That must be like a certain version of InitialD, maybe? Alright. So this one was, trying to read a date on this copyright. I don't see it. Is that 80? Or 90? I don't know. And then it says 350 here. I don't know what that means. It says number 25 of HG. This also says HG 350. So I think like HG, is it possibly like a high grade? High grade of Choro-Q? I don't know. Okay. Well, get to the Red Suns RX7 FD3S. So again, same white wheels. This molding is pretty bad, whatever is going on there. I do like that they printed on the Red Suns. It's got a sunroof. Unfortunately, the paint's not perfect there. A contaminant. Not much color. Well, better than the Roadster. You know, that's got the raised. I think that's Unos, the Unos badge. Silver in these markers, black in these vents. No silver on the fog lights though. And then, yeah, a dark smoked canopy there. And then the tail lights, I think, yeah, it's a separate black piece. Or is it smoked? I'm not sure. But I guess that's decent. This, I don't know what the deal is with that. So now this doesn't say SSR. It just says, you know, FD3S and Project D. Alright. HG again, 350 again. Number 7 RX7, and then 1993. Alright. So I'm going to guess the line, the regular non-InitialD box, they have just a regular HD line, and this is the number 7 casting. This one doesn't have a number though, it's weird. This is the number 25 casting in the HD line. Alright, so the last one, the iconic Trueno, Corolla Trueno. So this one actually has mirrors, the other ones don't. It's got these really thin plastic mirrors coming through the side glass here. It might be one continuous piece going across, I'm not sure. You can see a little bit of the motor there, so a very dark smoked canopy there. And then there's the Japanese kanji text for, I think, the Fujiwara Tofu shop. Okay, so good printing here, you know, the markers in both instances. And then this black molding is going across the whole thing, the black fender flares. It's just got the same wheels, but black this time around. And then, yeah, good details here. That's interesting, how that's recessed. And then, well, this is weird, totally different. Nothing, no HG, nothing. Strange. But this says here, Project D. Alright, so I'm just referring, and then the taillights are red. It says Apex, Trueno. Well, it looks definitely the best of the bunch, the most details out of all four, which makes sense. It's the one that everyone wants. Alright, so I'm just going back to this box because it says here Project D versus SSR. Okay. I believe Project D is the race team, you know. So the Trueno and the RX7 are this team, and then SSR, it must be the other race team they're battling against or something. I haven't watched much InitialD, so I really don't know anything about it. I just like the cars. Alright, so let's compare it to a couple other 1/64 scale vehicles. Just gonna do it freestyle here. Alright, the RX7. So this is by Kyosho, and it was an InitialD edition. So it's got all the livery of one of the episodes of InitialD, and I think the wheels might even be accurate. Okay. Got the wing, and it's got the license plate, so really fantastic what Kyosho did here. Alright. The Trueno, this is by Time Micro. Pretty good. It's a great model intent-wise, but quality control-wise, no. Look at this black. I don't know why there's so much extra paint there. And then a lot of paint was missing, so I had to go and add paint in a lot of these crevices. But if you get one with better quality, it's really great. There's a lot of detail going on this. I've done reviews of all these 1/64s, by the way, if you want to search the history. Nunos Roadster wise, I have this Konami here, and I did a wheel swap because Konami wheels were pretty miserable. I think these came from N64 and then I painted them silver, so it looks a lot better. Alright, and then I don't really have an R34 and 1/64 scale. I'll get around to it. But I do have this Kyosho. The front end is an R34, but it's just the 25 GT Turbo. Alright, I'll let this go around once. Okay, so that's the, I guess, comparing cartoons versus what's supposed to be realistic 1/64 scales. And that's that there. So if you give me a moment, I'm thinking I'm going to do some 3D printed wheels because, you know, these are actually specific vehicles to a specific franchise, InitialD, but obviously these 5 spokes, they don't look anything like the wheels in the cartoons or wheels on real cars. So give me some time. And so here we are with some custom 3D printed wheels. So let's take a closer look at some of these things. So these you may have seen before in my other reviews of Choro-Qs. These are Watanabe F8s, and I have a brake system going on back there as well. Yeah, there you go, red calipers, silver rotors. But this car runs black Watanabes. I did some metallic black. It might be hard to tell, but yeah, I just don't like black wheels, but they're specific to this livery, so that's what we have here. I'm using some gray putty. It's like sticky tack putty. It's called Yoo-Hoo Potafix Pro. And it's great because it doesn't leave any marks. It doesn't stain anything, and you can reuse it again and again and again. So that's what allows me to quickly, you know, put some camber into these wheels and readjust them and stuff like that. So okay, so this next one, this R34, I looked up a character from this show or this series called Hoshino Kozo, and he drives a B&R 34. And on his R34, he has these wheels called Advan S3Rs. S3R. And so that's what I made here. And I just put in some blue brake calipers just to make them a little more visible. And then the rotors have some cross drilling. So again, you'll see here the putty. In this case, I have the thing steering. You know, looks like it's drifting into a turn right there at night. And then there's some camber in the rear as well. So that's what we did for that guy. The next one here, the RX7. There's a character in this from the series called Keisuke Takahashi, and at least in the 5th stage of the series, he was running these wheels. They're called SSR Type C, and he has bronze ones. So again, that's what I was going for. Bronze paint, and then there's the brake system, some cross drilled and some red calipers. I don't know if that's accurate, but that's what I would decide to go with. And this one's steering in the opposite direction. Right. So I basically removed the whole motor mechanism and the original axle and wheels, and then I just took the tires off those and I put them on these 3D printed wheels. So if I ever want to go back to, you know, the stock form, if I ever want to sell them, you know, I can always switch it back. And the last one, the Miata. And so these are wheels from a 1994 Miata. I don't know if they have a specific name or not, but here again, cross-drilled rotors and red calipers back there, the 4 lug nuts. And I have them so sunken in underneath the fenders that I think it looks really, really comical. And that's the way I like it. There's the modeling putty again. Okay. I didn't bother adding some of the extra details. Maybe I'll do it later. I'm just afraid, you know, these models are so old. If I mess it up, I might have to buy it again. And these things weren't cheap, so I might just leave it alone, just out of fear. Alright. Okay, well, if you like InitialD, this is, for me, it's worth picking up. I haven't even really watched the series much, but I just like, you know, JDM style. And I do like drift racing. I used to do a lot of RC drift racing, and actually I have a couple of videos on the 24 scale drift art too. It's fun. So, anyways, I guess I'll see you guys the next time I review some of these deformed vehicles. Thanks for watching.